What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Tom Dark channel. I'm your host, Tom Dark, and we're going to be doing another video today about a situation that no one should care about, but millions of people do. And this particular subject is going to be Illuminati. Now, if you go to my channel right now and you go to the videos tab, it's going to be obvious that I've already done a bunch of videos about Illuminati. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I've done 3 so far, and I believe this will be the 4th. We started with Illuminati just got exposed, then we have Illuminati's response is weird, and then Illuminati got exposed again. So I figured I'll milk this drama for one more video, but I actually do have something to say because I think that one thing that was lacking from some of these videos is a deeper analysis and sort of comparison between Illuminati and some other creators, and I want to ask the question today explicitly: could Illuminati come back from this drama? Because that's always my first question, I think, and really the final question with any YouTube drama. It's like, okay, all this stuff happened, you know, this person got exposed for this happened, this went down, they said this thing, this was their response, whatever. At the end of the day, will it affect their career? Take someone like Logan Paul, who obviously had one of the biggest controversies of all time on YouTube, right? The whole Logan Paul forest incident was literally the biggest story of anything. I mean, that day, ABC News reported on it, for God's sakes. I mean, we can see this video has 17 million views, and this is from the news. I remember Kavos' video. You guys probably know the commentator Kavos, the British dude with the lisp. His video about Logan Paul, I think, had like 20 million views before it was taken down by YouTube. And I mean, we can see here even the caption of this. It says, "I think this definitely marks a moment in YouTube history because I'm pretty sure this has never happened to anyone on YouTube ever." I mean, it was like one of the biggest controversies of all time. Not just in terms of YouTube, but in terms of like media in general. And despite that, you go to his channel, he's killing it. I mean, 10 days ago, 3.6 million views. 2 months ago, I mean, 7 million views. His channel is still doing super well, and so you kind of have to beg the question in these situations: is the controversy big enough that it can wreck someone's career? In Logan Paul's situation, right, I think that whatever you think of him, whatever your opinion on Logan Paul is, right, you like him, you don't like him, you think that because of the forest situation, he's a piece of shit. You think that because of Crypto Zoo, he's a piece of shit. End of the day, he came back to YouTube and he killed it. And end of the day, he's a talented guy. Frankly, he is. He's good at making videos. He knows what works on YouTube. He knows what's interesting, and he knows what content is going to get him to the top. And, you know, despite what he did, his fans are willing to forgive him or, you know, either forgive him or ignore it because the stuff he does is so interesting. But Logan Paul is a very different creator than someone like Illuminati. You know, first of all, he's on a whole new level of fame. But secondly, he appeals to a much wider base of people, okay? And frankly, his content also is original. And by that, I don't mean that it's the most original thing in the world in terms of like he's the first person to ever do it. But what I do mean is that he's not making content really about other people. It's content about his life. It's content about his wants, his needs, the people he hangs out with. I mean, he says, "Trap my girlfriend. She'll have a baby if, you know, I cheated. She couldn't hold it anymore." It's videos with his girlfriend. It's videos of him like doing vlogs, collecting stuff. Here, I think they did a podcast with 6ix9ine. Here, I box 4 people at the same time. If you go to Illuminati's channel, it's nothing to do with like there's never an I statement in the title. You go to her channel, she's a commentary channel, and that means she talks about other people. She talks about what they do. And that's not to say that I'm shitting on her profession or whatever, because I mean, end of the day, like, it's what I do too on YouTube. You go to either of my channels, I talk about other people, but there's no doubt that commentary channels probably overall have a less loyal fan base than someone like Logan Paul, because Logan's big because of his personality versus, you know, some commentary channels are big because of their personality, but a lot of them are big because of the other people they talk about, you know? Illuminati's someone who probably would get big if she made a video exposing Logan Paul. It actually doesn't look like she did, so there we go, guys. Listen, I was wrong. Listen, Illuminati proved me wrong. Now when you look up her name, it's all people exposing her, which is pretty funny. But anyway, if you go to her channel, you can see, I mean, the pipeline from crunchy moms to alt-right conspiracists. 2000s reality programs were wild. Ollie London, ultimate grifter. Propaganda, how police bought the media. That's a fucking, what is this? Paw Patrol? That's your example? Like the white creepypasta, Herobrine eyes. The woke joke, what the right is really doing. The complete Hub saga. The dangers of door-to-door book selling. Like, none of this is about Blair. None of this is about Illuminati. It's not even really about her personality if you watch the videos. I mean, let's just go for an example. Zoos, the dark side of animal captivity. Let's watch this video.
Many of you remembered my Illuminati plush, the one with the magnifying glass, and then more recently, the Illuminati plush with the teacup. But I have really
Well, she is a plushie? She's just like me.
great news for you. About 43% of the facilities detailed in their report, almost half, allowed petting, and about a third offered walking and swimming through an enclosure and or wildlife performances. About a fourth, or 23%, had hand-feeding experience. That isn't even the case either. AZA facilities...
So obviously, I mean, she has her little character still, but this isn't personality-driven content. This isn't about how she feels, really. It's just about, like, other things that happen, and she compiles it, puts it together with her team, and they tell a story. And obviously, that's a compelling thing for a lot of people, because her videos, you know, did pretty well. I mean, 300,000, 350,000 views. If you go to the popular tab on this channel, The Horrors of Autism Speaks, almost 4 million views, The Aftermath of SeaWorld. And these videos aren't about her opinion, really. It's not about her personality. It's about what she can say about these other things and like what the story is overall, which is fine. Once again, I'm not shitting on her for that. But obviously, she's in a different position to someone like Logan Paul. Despite the fact that Logan Paul's content is based on his personality, really, he was able to get away with something. You know, some things that you'd probably say are probably more heinous than what Illuminati did. Yeah. Versus a direct comparison that a lot of people have been making is Creepshow Art. Now, Creepshow Art is an interesting commentary channel. You can see my video about her right there at the top, 2.5 million views. Great video. You guys need to check it out. I mean, sorry, this is the Turkey Tom video. Great YouTuber. You need to check it out. But Creepshow Art was one of the bigger sort of, you know, art commentary channels from back in the day. I mean, she was huge. And I don't mean physically. I mean, in terms of her popularity, she was huge. She was getting a ton of views. I think she had over 500,000 subscribers before the channel was deleted recently. It was actually really recent her channel was deleted. Let me look it up. Let's see here. Creepshow Art deleted. Okay, this is an old tweet. I guess she deleted her Instagram as well, which I didn't even know. But I know recently she had her YouTube channel deleted. I think it was for a DMCA issue, and she just never appealed the strike or anything like that. But I mean, she's basically just gone now. She's not even around. But when she was around, her content was based on her personality. Most of the videos on the channel were like her opinion. It was how Shannon feels, and it was like a storytime video. Like, he abused me. SJW versus my relationship. Creepshow Art storytime re-upload.
Hello, my band of buttholes. It is Shannon.
What a disgusting intro. If you say, hello, my band of buttholes, you need to be thrown in a hole in Saudi Arabia. In Minecraft. That's a joke. Ironically. Meta-irony. Sorry.
I'm going to be telling you a story of heartbreak, a story of triumph, and a story involving Twitter. Honestly, I feel like whenever a story involves Twitter, it's always something petty and stupid, and this blows your mind. This beautiful dipshit woman couldn't handle the fact that I was dating a male, to the point where if he came...
But I mean, you can see here, whatever you think about her content or personality, I personally always found her a bit obnoxious. You know, her personality was what made her big. There were a lot of people that resonated, that reverberated, that related to this personality. Because of that, she managed to blow up. But that also was a big cause for downfall because, you know, her personality also came with a lot of these like moral statements about this is right, this is wrong, you know, going after racism, going after tracers and art. And she ended up being a much worse person than, you know, most could have initially imagined, right? I mean, she ended up being like this crazy kind of stalker who was talking her friends on lolcow, making like alt accounts to argue with herself. I mean, she was like a complete schizo, hater, master manipulator, liar, right? She was a shitty person. And I think that the drama was so inescapable for her, once again, because her content was completely based on her personality and how she felt. Whereas someone like Illuminaughtii, I mean, she's somewhat similar to Creepshow Art. I would say probably a lot of the same viewers watch her channel. But what's a lot different about it is that it's much more, you know, highly produced. Whereas Shannon was mostly just using, I mean, this is like speed art. And at some point, she actually started using other people's speed art, so it wasn't even her own. It's not like most people are watching the videos anyway. She's using speed art for the visuals and inserting, you know, a screenshot here, a clip here or there. For the most part, what you get is her voice. That's the unique thing. And that voice was able to get her to the top of YouTube. Versus someone like Blair. I mean, she has a decent narration voice, but I'm not talking about the voice itself in terms of, you know, how it sounds. I'm talking about the fact that, frankly, Illuminati's personality was never the draw for her. It was the topics. It was the titles. It was stuff like that. It was never really her opinion.
I Am Autism, in which it insulted autistic people throughout the United States after was aired, that there is no definitive answer as to whether vaccines cause autism on the Today.
I mean, there's no like jokes or anything. There's no like personality inserted in there. It's just her talking about a subject, trying to, you know, appear somewhat objective about it and give a story, which is once again fine. I'm not shitting on her for that, but that is what she does at the end of the day. And so the question then becomes, how can we compare Illuminaughtii to Logan Paul? How can we compare her actions to Logan Paul, as well as Creepshow Art? And how can we compare her content? And what does that mean for her career as a whole, right? Well, first of all, I think it's important to acknowledge the fact that, you know, despite the fact that their content is somewhat different. Illuminaughtii and Creepshow Art, once again, I think they appeal to a lot of the same people. And these are people who, you know, they enjoy hearing exposés on stuff, and they enjoy a lot of it. They enjoy a lot of content. And I mean, if you see Illuminauttii's channel, she's uploading, you know, a 30-minute video every day. But that being said, the differentiation obviously is Illuminauttii's personality is not really here, which makes me think that she could push on through this drama despite everything, right? That makes me think that she could probably push on, and it wouldn't be that big of a deal, because if people are never there for her personality anyway, then when they find out she's kind of a shitty person, why would it really matter, right? Why would it really matter? Like for someone like Logan Paul, right? Why would it really matter? Well, I think the difference between Illuminaughtii and Logan Paul is that Logan Paul was never a call-out channel. Logan Paul is someone who just makes videos about his own life. Part of his own life at one point has been going to the, you know, forest and filming a dead body, and another part of his life was Crypto Zoo and basically running a scam on his fans, which I believe he has yet to pay people back for or apologize for in any serious way. So Logan Paul was able to get away with it because his content is good enough to stand on its own. It's not even related to the call out. It doesn't really matter. Versus Illuminaughtii, every video is exposing someone else for being a shitty person, you know? Uncovering the dark meat behind Tyson. Is the criticism of Mr. Beast warranted? And in the title, we have charitable fraud. We have comments like, I think that people should be upset at the system that allowed for somebody to come and fix these huge issues. If it wasn't broken, there wouldn't be views to share. I'm someone who has been poor on the end of charity porn. It is degrading. I went to a food bank and a church, and to be there and get help, I had to accept being filmed. Either that or I didn't get food. So while I agreed to it, it was still really upsetting and not something I was at all comfortable with. So we have a lot of people in the comment section who are, you know, talking about how Mr. Beast is kind of a bad person for giving things away. And this is, you know, every comment section, because she talks about shitty people and like exposing people in every video. I mean, the whole intro to a lot of her videos is, hey guys, welcome back to my channel where we're exposing scammers, frauds, and other forms of corruption.
It's time once again to stop pyramid schemes, scams, and other forms of corruption.
Her whole channel is based on calling people out, and so I think from that perspective, to see her exposed in the same way, or rather to see her exposed just for being not a good person, I mean, in the Clicks video, he details the alt account she had to like talk him, digging through 10-year-old videos to find incriminating stuff about him to make him look worse after a petty like drama over a dumb YouTube channel that apparently wasn't even making that much money anyway. I mean, it basically just showed that she's a crazy, manipulative, vindictive person, and it all started, ironically, because she decided to tweet out and accuse Legal Eagle of plagiarizing from her editors. And here we have her apology. Here we have the Illuminaughtii exposed response video she made, which is sort of, you know, ironically titled. But this video was meant to kind of clear the air for her. It was meant to kind of save her reputation and address all the drama. And it even opens up with like an admission that, like, you know, she was wrong for the Legal Eagle thing, and then she counters the plagiarism thing. But it ended up getting her in a lot more shit than I think she intended. Maybe she was just too caught up in her own lies to realize what was going on. Maybe she'd just been getting away with it for so long that she thought no one would ever be able to counter her and document it. But I mean, the Clicks response to this video was so fucking brutal. It blew her out of the water. And frankly, I can't see a way she can even adequately respond to his video other than apologizing. And even if she does apologize, then she has to admit to her entire audience that she's like a vindictive, crazy, manipulative liar. You know, I said in my last video, I was like, I don't think she's straight up evil. Maybe she is straight up evil. Like, she's a piece of shit person, you know what I mean? The comment section are absolutely tearing her apart for every aspect of the video. Posting Wonder Super Note is disgusting. I don't care how you two fell out. He trusted you with very sensitive situation, and you use that to get the focus off of yourself. That's disgusting. Full stop. Also insinuating that the Click is fine with files being on his Discord because he didn't respond quickly enough for you. He was sleeping is even worse. You have no shame. This is immensely disappointing. I was hoping the information and rumors I've been hearing about you for years were untrue, but it looks like I was sorely mistaken. And this is almost every single comment. I agree with the title. This does expose you. And then if you go to the Clicks video titled Illuminaughtii and Sad Milk, and you go to the comment section, imagine naming yourself as a joke on conspiracy theories and then legitimately being responsible for conspiracies. The fact she pretended to be an autistic fan to try and bury you pisses me off the most. Being autistic myself, it shines a bad light on our disabilities, and I mean, everyone's just completely trashing her, and rightfully so. I mean, she's a shitty person. It's also her fault that it came out. If she had never even made this Illuminaughtii exposed video, then the Click would never have made his response video. Like, this straight up would not exist. Like, I don't believe it would. And if she hadn't originally made the Legal Eagle tweet, people wouldn't have shit on her in the first place. She probably would have been fine. But now if you look at the views of her past few videos, I mean, 6 days ago, 100,000 views, 100,000, 100,000. This one hasn't even cracked 100,000 as of a day ago. And that's not to say those are bad views by any means, but I mean, even compared to how she was doing just a few weeks ago, a month ago, I mean, she was regularly getting at least close to 300K, you know what I mean? 300K here. This has just about 300K. Here we have Flyleaf in the thumbnail, I guess. I'm so sick. In Marilyn Manson is a wolf in sheep's clothing, 300K views, 350K. When you have a few duds here and there, you know, shy of 200, but she was doing pretty well. But now her channel, I believe, is losing subscribers at a very alarming rate. I just killed a fly with my hand. I fucking slaughtered it. Oh, wait, still alive. Okay, now I killed it. You. I mean, you go to her channel, she's lost subscribers all month. I mean, here she got 10,000, then 10,000, then she lost that 10,000. And overall, it looks like, let's see here, she peaked at 1.69 million, and she's currently at 1.6. So she's lost about 100,000. Yeah, she's went from 1.67 to 1.6, about 100,000 subscribers. And obviously, those people that are unsubscribing are probably the most active viewers of her channel, who are the most passionate about her stuff, because those are the people that look to her for criticisms, that look to her to be a good person, that look to her to call out, you know, scams and corruption. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, she was, you know, pulling something that was super heinous, right? She was being a complete piece of shit to people for no reason. And what's even funnier about this is that, I mean, iilluminaughtii is someone who probably would posture herself as like a leftist, right? And I'm not trying to do the anti-socialism rant. I'm really not. But she would posture herself as a leftist, and you would think that from that perspective, her going after someone who, like the Click, who I guess says or he used to say the N-word like 10 years ago, her going after him, you'd think would be like supported by them. And I've seen a lot of tweets from, you know, that kind of community where they'll basically go after someone for even like 5-10-year-old videos and be like, I don't care if it was a different time, you're a piece of shit for saying this stuff. I didn't think it was okay back then. And despite that, despite her having those kinds of people on her side, she completely managed to alienate them because she was just such a crazy, vindictive bitch. And they just, you know, they had to see that for what it was, you know what I mean? So I guess to bring this around back to the question I asked at the beginning, which was, could iilluminaughtii come back to YouTube? Here's how I think she could come back, and there's a few options she could take. I talked about this on live stream the other day, but I've been thinking about this more and more. I think what she'd have to do is, one, she'd have to apologize for literally everything, and she would have to admit to it. Like, there's no weaseling out of it. There's no accusing the Click of this. Like, she can't bring forward new evidence now, or she can't accuse Wonderstruck of something, or she can't accuse Oz Media of something else. Like, what she has to do straight up is make a video. It has to be pretty short. It has to be her admitting to everything. She'd have to take down this video, or at least unlist it. She had to admit to everything she did, say that she was a shitty person, and say that she is making a concerted effort to be better and move on, right? That's what she'd have to do. Because, I mean, thus far, this video came out 9 days ago. The Click's video was from 5 days ago or so, and she hasn't responded on Twitter. If you go to the Illuminati subreddit, they're actually deleting a lot of the posts, basically. You can see here, nice Reddit post you just conveniently deleted with a clown emoji, and this is basically someone talking about the facts that, you know, Blair is a terrible person. And this post is actually from before the Click's video, but if you look here, even, you know, 1 day later, they privated the subreddit completely, and I guess the mods as well as Illuminati have been deleting every, you know, tweet that could possibly paint her in some kind of bad light, right? And it's just really crazy to see a situation like this transpire, because despite what you can say about Blair, I mean, she was a successful YouTuber, she was super big. Now we're basically watching her downfall in real time. And not only that, but like, it's been so long since I've seen a video this succinct that there's no response to give, right? Like, there's literally no clarification Blair could give to the Click's video other than, I did it, I'm a piece of shit, I'm a terrible person, I'm sorry, I'm gonna try to be better. And then she'd probably have to like take a break from YouTube for a while. And when she does come back, she can't make the same kind of content, obviously, because who's gonna want to listen to someone like her talk about other people's dirty laundry when she has so much of her own? And it's like directly related to the stuff she talks about. I mean, she talks about corruption. Meanwhile, she's paying people to go through people's old videos to fuck with them. I mean, it's just, it's so vindictive, it's so evil, and frankly, it shows that she's an incredibly manipulative and toxic person. I don't like to use the word toxic, okay? I think I have bad associations with the word toxic because of the kind of people that use that word, but there's no doubt that undoubtedly Blair is a toxic person. You know, she's insecure, she, you know, picks like a villain of the week and then goes after them, she lies about people, she spreads rumors behind their back, and she's overall just a terrible person to work with. I'd even be surprised if the editors that she works with are still going to work with her. I feel like she's going to have to get a whole new team, because why would you want to work with someone like that, right? Unless she's magically changed in the last few years after a lifetime of being a shithead. It seems really unrealistic to me that these people haven't suffered, you know, some of the same, I guess, quote-unquote abuse that someone like the Click did, right? And so from that perspective, I think you kind of have to realize that Blair, to respond, has to outright apologize. She can't come back with some kind of like, oh, well, actually the Click did this. Like even if she's right at this point, even if she did have some evidence against him, like, she could probably try to bring forward evidence, and I'm not saying the Click did this, she could probably try to bring forward evidence that the Click like punched someone in the head, and let's like punched a girlfriend in the head, and let's say it was good evidence. It wouldn't really matter at this point, because Blair is an unreliable narrator, and so at this point, even if she has compelling evidence for something, it's gonna fall on deaf ears. Nobody wants to hear it. And so from that perspective, I think that the only thing she can do is apologize, take a break, and then come back with some bomb content. And it can't be, like I said, what she was doing before, you know? It just can't. As for what she will do, I think, honestly, her method right now is just to completely ignore it, because what response could she possibly give, right? What response could she possibly give at this point that would make her look good? I mean, she knows she got caught. There's no way. But if she ignores it, she's going to keep losing her audience gradually over time. I mean, you can already see she's getting less views on these videos. I mean, they're struggling to get past 150K views, and that trend I predict will probably continue and continue and continue. So her options are either ride this channel into the sunset and try to collect the ad revenues you can off of it, which, I mean, she got 10 million views in the last 30 days. She's probably making a good chunk of change in ad revenue. So she could try to ride it to the end and then just f off. Or if she wants this to be a longer term business and she wants to, you know, keep a community, keep any semblance of respect, what she'd have to do is off for a little while after an apology, and then when she comes back, she'd have to make the best content of her entire career. It would have to be so good. But frankly, there's another problem that's posed by her entire situation, which is that what fucking YouTuber in their right mind would want to work with Blair? Who would want to work with someone who, when you piss her off over a work incident, over, you know, like the Sad Milk channel, she accuses you of harboring files in a public YouTube video. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, like years earlier, she was paying people to comb through your 10-year-old videos to find embarrassing or otherwise unscrupulous clips of you, to then expose you for it to hurt your bottom line and hurt your reputation. Who would want to work with someone or collab with them or even associate with someone who has been caught deleting mean comments on a channel and then like spreading rumors about that person in that same comment section? Like, who would want to work with someone like her? Who would want to work with someone who posts someone's suicide note in their YouTube video? Posting Wonder suicide note is disgusting. That is terrible. Nobody wants to be around someone like Illuminati. I mean, she's you know, not only is she a bad person, but a lot of people will tolerate bad people like Logan Paul because of the business. But if you work with her, she'll probably f you over given her track record, according to a bunch of her former collaborators. So there's just no reason why any YouTuber with a level head who isn't completely desperate would want to even work with her in any respect. And so I think from that kind of perspective, when you look at it, she's going to have a hard time coming back to YouTube anyway. Could she come back? Never say never, but it's going to be a long, hard road out of hell. And I honestly, at this point, would be surprised if she even has the mental fortitude to do it, given how like insufferable, insensitive, and vindictive she is to other people. I have a feeling she's not handling this all well mentally, despite how composed she seemed in this video. I have a feeling behind the scenes she's going crazy, you know, throwing shit at walls, probably, you know, sleeping in her depression chamber. Which, by the way, can we just talk about the room for a sec? Can we talk about the way she lives? Because this is unreal. This is so disgusting. Like, look how foul this... Who lives like... There's just like... I can see the island kitchen there. There's just like bottles and trash everywhere. There's open boxes everywhere. I mean, imagine living in this house. This is foul. I mean, if there's any, you know, armchair psychology to be in this video, it's going to be during this part, because I think that this house, possibly, you know, the way it is, reflects the inner mess and turmoil going on inside of her head that leads her to do things like, you know, pay people to gather info and then make an alt account and like message people on Discord like, the alt account's going to love this one.
The alt account is gonna love this. In the next screenshot, you can see her writing out a draft. I saw the Sad Milk announcement of all the milkmen. Now I'm seeing the comments. We all agree it's obviously not on good terms. Blair tweeting about being stabbed in the back, etc., etc. This draft matches with one of the posts made by an alt account called Doobie Schmertz on Reddit, and this is the entirety of the post.
Dude, she's so Reddit. But yeah, I mean, that's about going to wrap up today's video. I know this one was a little redundant, just retreading the drama, but I've been thinking about it a lot recently, and if Blair could ever come back, yeah, I'm just curious to see what really happens in this situation. I have a feeling she's not going to respond in any way. Unless she gets super desperate and realizes her views are really going down, maybe she will respond, but I have a feeling it's going to be a while. She seems too prideful to admit wrongdoing, considering her initial response. I don't think she could ever admit to being this shitty of a person on video. And I mean, if she did, it's not like an apology at this point would make things better. I feel like she's forfeited the opportunity for a full apology, given the fact that, you know, after her initial apology to Legal Eagle, she went on to throw all these people under the bus. And Legal Eagle, meanwhile, stays winning. I mean, Legal Eagle is killing it on YouTube. 1 million views, you know, 300,000 views, 2.2 million, 1.5 million. I mean, Legal Eagle, congrats to them on being extremely famous, popular. Congrats to him on his hard work. Pretty good channel you guys should subscribe to. But that's about gonna wrap up today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like. If you disliked it, leave a dislike. Drop a comment down below giving me your thoughts on all the Illuminati stuff and how you feel about it. And, well, I'll see you all in the next video tomorrow. Follow my Instagram, TomButDark, for my pictures of my face and other faces now and then. Goodbye.